We live in a world where things are not the same. People act differently. Every day, something's changed. Something is not like we're supposed to be. That's how I usually solve these shows. But let me sit back and talk to you for a second here and tell you we had a lot of people who suggested things throughout the time in history. Back in the Babylon times, back in the 30s, and in the 40s, and the 50s, 60s, as we grow up. Remember, our time is now. This is 2026. 100 years ago in the past was 1926. And before all of that, as we go down the line, there were great leaders and there were great losers as well. We have grown into a society that is ruled and governed by the government of choice. Every country has their own leader, and the leader changes all the time. Sometimes they don't change and they stay in there forever until they pass away. And then the sibling takes over and controls the population and leads them in a way. In the 30s, they had great wars, 40s as well. You know, sides don't get along. People want to control everything, and things get to where they are. I really can't speak from the 30s and the in the 40s what went through in there. There's been a lot of wars going on, but sides say this is what you're going to do, and a lot of sides I don't want to do it that way. Some want to control the entire planet, and they could have had their way. Alternate universes might be they're still doing it because they control the planet like they wanted to, and we live in this universe here where all these wars are gone and it has stopped. But you still have countries that bigger and don't get along still, no matter what you do. So, but hey, they have their own rules. Okay, they want their people to do things their way. They believe their society is better, but we have a society they have mimic, and it looks. That's why you go to other countries and hey, it looks just like here. Yeah, because they built their cities and everything's about the same. Everything's the same except for how the people are and how they live and how they carry on. But every society is different, and everybody's doing their own thing. And we in the past that's gone, but those dictators and those ways of living are gone. Okay, and sometimes you can't fall back on that. You got to think of what's happening now, and because this is our future. This is our time. It's not 1826, 1726, or 26 itself. Okay. It's not 1926 anymore. It's not. It's not that. It is 2026. And 100 years from now, you see, it'll be uh, 2126. That's their time. That's their future. Before they know it, it'd be 3026. And those people, there is a different society. We can only predict what it might look like or what they might be facing. But each day is different. Hmm. Anyway, like I said, this is our time. And this is the way we look at it. You okay? Say hello. Say hi. But anyway, we have to live for our time. And this is how we have to think about it. We have to worry about what's going on now. Next year will be 2026. And not be, well, I mean, this year is 2026. Next year will be 2027. So 2027, what's going to happen? I can predict and tell you things, but things could change. Right now, we have elections going on. People want changes. People are tired of all these taxes and all these things going on. Property taxes are so high. I know I'm going through them myself. Boy, it's expensive. Holy cow. Some people pay more than you property taxes, you got HOA fees, You got electric bills high because of the heat wave that's going on that caused the heat index to be 115, 120. It doesn't matter if water's all around you, it's still hot. And it's not only here, the whole planet's facing the same problem. Well, most of us that's near the equator. But the thing is this, we have to live through all of this. We want our governments to lower our prices. We want our governments to do better regulation, you know, because food prices are still out of whack. Most of this happened during the pandemic and nothing has changed. Gas prices are out of control. They won't allow us to have natural gas vehicles or propane vehicles or steam vehicles. I'm not saying go back to the old steam horse back they had back in the 20s. You know. I'm not saying we should have a stagecoach come in, but that stuff was replaced by buses, you know. And, you know, horses, they did drop waste on the roads and somebody had to sweep it up. We don't go back then. That's how the hell it was back in 1926. You know, they were coming through the different times and different era, you know, 1926 was not too far from the 1900s, like, you know, and 1800s. It would have had the cowboy era, you know, how that was. And now we are in a much different kind of a place. But if you look at today, in our country, we have a lot of ghost towns. We have a lot of people left small towns, and a lot of small towns. People went to bigger cities and left the little towns alone. But the little towns were booming back in the day. Maybe it was coal, maybe it was gold, silver, whatever it is they were mining, and or textiles. They were making things. We don't make nothing here anymore, Holly. You know, everything's made in PRC, People's Republic of China, something like that. That's where it's gone. It's gone there because the people who run these companies figure, hey, we could save money. We don't have to pay pensions and we don't have to deal with the unions. We can just send it over there, and they would work for less. But they got smart over there, and they want more. But you know, they make it sound like, especially on Facebook, they make it sound like, hey, car is $2,000, but $2,000 in their money. By the time it comes over here with the taxes and fees and tariffs, it'd be a lot more money. They got clothing, a whole 1,000 shirts for $50. That's their money. But by the time it comes here, it'd be expensive. Or $2 for Nike sneakers. By the time they come here, it's much more money because they'll through the tariffs. So that's if they make it there, they may not be that cheap. By the time it comes here, it's much more money, as we all know. The dollar stores have gone into $1.25 and more stores. They should change it from dollars, not a dollar store anymore. They could have left it at a dollar store, but we're making that profit like they were. But you know, they got to do what they got to do. Things are different now. We live in a different society. You could buy unknown brands. The brand is black and white. It's a black and white label that says paper towel. Do you care who made it? There's no name on it. It won't be on your TV set. No named paper towel. I used to buy a whole bunch of them. I don't have them no more. GFC ones, name brand. Name brand is expensive. I was paying like 50 cents or less for those. You get 2-ply paper towel for $2 for 50 cents. I'll just put 6 of those in there. That's lasting me a month. And then the toilet paper was cheap too. It was like less than 60 cents. Get 4. You know, and buy a whole bunch of those and stick it in there. But they don't want you to buy that. They want you to buy name brand. That's up to you. You have choice. You have a choice. You can buy whatever you want. Spend on whatever you want. But when I was a kid, they had a lot of no-name brand. The government was giving away cheese to everybody. My father would come home with this big block of cheese in a box. And cheddar was hard, though. It's hard to chew. But that's gone. I can go back in time. I remember the pizza, where I grew up, the Italian guy making pizza. I can smell it. It smells so, you can smell how it tastes. It was real pizza, no chemicals. It was made of natural ingredients. He only wanted, what he wanted? He wanted 25 cents of the pizza, one slice of pizza. I think it was $1.50 for, eventually went up to, let's see, you get two pieces, okay, and a Coke. I think it was $1.50. I can't believe it. So it's kind of hard. It's fragment to go back in that time zone to think about what happened then, because that's different now. It was a different world back then. Ice cream was 89 cents, 59 cents. Doritos, when Doritos came out, Doritos, the bun, yeah, that shit, and I'm promoting it. Now it's 69 cents for the big bag, 89 cents. Look at it today. It's much more money. Why? What happened? How did things get expensive? Why did it get expensive? Shoot, back in 1915, Nathan's Hot Dogs back in Coney Island. That's Brooklyn, New York. That's near the beach. They were selling hot dogs for a nickel. So you get a hot dog and a bun for a nickel. You couldn't get that today for that price. It's much more money. What happened? How did it get so expensive? That's how it was back in the 15 that era. It was different than what it is today. You took if you had 1,000 or 100,000 in the bank right now, and you go back in the 2026, you would be a wealthy person. But this is the way it is. Has our country got corrupt? Has everybody got corrupted? Not just our country. Has really things changed? Well, the war changed a lot, because they stopped manufacturing. When they stopped manufacturing during the pandemic, everything stopped. Now they're making up for it. But now we're making up for it. See, the problem is, if people say no, oh, we're not going to pay that high price. Would the price go down? Well, the company might go out of business. Supermarkets. Go to a supermarket today. You have a choice. You can buy name brand or buy the supermarket brand. Should you get the store's cookies and cream? $2 for that. Or should you buy one at $6? Is the $6 one better than the other one? Who's making it for the store? Because the store don't make it. The store don't make anything. All they make is money. That's all they make. So, which you gonna buy? You guys say, well, the other one tastes better. But how you know they don't taste the same? Because the same company's making it. They might put less sugar in it. Might put less sweetener in there. They might put less cookies in there, because that's what cookies and cream is. It's Oreo cookies put in there. You can make it yourself. I can make it myself. I have a whole channel devoted to that, but that's a whole different story there. Well, not only that, but that's what you can do. There's like 3 ingredients. 1, 2, 3. That's it. And it takes time. It's not easy, It has to churn. If you don't churn, it won't come out properly. It won't come out nice and creamy. Tastes different too. It doesn't taste like the store. But the store, they only give you like I think it's 1.5, 1.4, or 1.3 liter. True half a gallons. Only a few companies make that. I did buy one. It was expensive. It was like $6 for it. That's true half a gallon. Compare back in the 70s or 80s, you're looking at about $1, less than $1 for ice cream. What happened? Why did it get so expensive? Why did milk get up so high? Why did a pound of bananas were 23 cents a pound not too long ago, or 16 cents a pound, or 10 cents a pound? How come they're so high now? Why is everything so high? Because it's not made here, and then get it from another country? Wasn't going to the other country supposed to save money, but the country got expensive? Let's see, logic that makes sense. Can it go back and make stuff? I use like a Hawaiian pineapples. You can't even get those. They come from Thailand, maybe even the Philippines, if you're lucky. But they don't, if they come Costa Rica, they don't taste the same. You open the can and why is it so whitish? What? They're supposed to be yellow. They should pick them when they're ripe, put them in the can, seal it. Then you open it and say, wow, you got some good pineapple. It's nice and sweet and juicy. It's supposed to be that. They pick it too early and they sell it to you, and you have to ripen it in your house so it don't develop properly. I I got mangoes out there. I can show you my mangoes, how they look. I can get one now. I'll be in here working in here. I hear something hit the roof like a bomb. No, the mango fell off the tree. Boom onto the roof. And then we have to run and go get it. If we don't get it, the squirrels will get it. Or the ducks will get it. Somebody get it. Sometimes the birds, wild parrots fly out there. Wild parrots, green on the bottom, black head. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen those, but maybe. But those are what's out there flying. And they attack the mangoes in the tree. Some mangoes I can't get to because they're too high. They're more than 24 feet up in the air. Got nothing that high to grab those, so they have to wait until they fall down. We have guys cutting the lawn now because we can't cut the lawn; it's too hot. And you got a girlfriend from some service where you just go online and pick what you want. A guy will come, but the problem is when they come, and I have to tell this guy 2 inches all the time. Cut the lawn 2 inches. Keeps forgetting. I have to say it in Spanish too. Cut it uno. Cut it, not uno. Oh, sorry, that's 1 inch. Dos. Cut it dos. That's 2 inches. He says, yeah. So I had the camera. I have security camera, and I can see him cutting the lawn. I'm not gonna play with the camera. What the hell do you use it? So I'm remoting the camera, and I'm looking, and I saw that the other guy, where is he? He's in the back of the house. He's getting mangoes because he rushed back to the truck and had this bag full of mangoes, and they fell in the driveway. And I didn't say nothing. They can have it they want because we can't eat all that. That's a lot. We got about enough to feed all you. But yeah, there's a lot out there. A lot of mangoes. Mangoes are good for you. You can peel it and eat it right there if it's soft. Or you can put it in the blender and blend it. You'll feel a lot different because that's real. That's not no chemical, didn't fly overseas, they didn't pick it early. When they pick it early, it don't taste right. Tomatoes. My father used to grow his own tomatoes in the yard. That was his hobby. Every year he grew it. We tried the seeds, brought them down here, they won't grow, they won't take. Nothing grows. Don't know what. It could be this. Well, we have sand out there. So it's hard to grow things in the sand. And we have a serious drought going on here too, by the way. Anyway. So when you get the tomatoes coming from Mexico or Costa Rica, you get them, they don't taste right. They don't taste like my father's taste. It's a big difference. You guys say, well, did he use pesticide? Nope. I know we had to fight off the caterpillar now and then trying to eat it, but still, they were good. And he had long string beans. They were called wild. They used to advertise on TV, get these, and he got them, and they grow long. You just chop them up, and they were good. When you grow things in your yard, it tastes different than you go out in the store and go get it. Because the ones in the yard don't have the chemicals, doesn't have the processing, and has all this other stuff go through. Those tomatoes, they're washed, triple washed. By the time they get to you, they don't taste right. And they might inject it with something you don't know to keep it from spoiling. Because if it lasts a long time without rotting, something's wrong there. I don't know, but this is the society we live in today. This is how things are. We struggle. We have to survive. People who control us tell us what to do. Were they poison? Or were they looking out for the best interests? Or were they looking out the best interests for themselves? We have an election this year, and we have to vote and pick the right person. I'm using my psychic abilities, and I can look at the person. I can say, which one is the best candidate? That's what I'm using. Not them talking and say what they want, because they can tell you anything and don't do it, and it could backfire, and they're stuck in there, and you can't get, and you'd be unhappy. You have to put people in there who are going to do what they say they're going to do and help you. You want your property taxes lowered or abolished? You want things cheaper? Gas cheaper? Get away with this extra tax on the gasoline? Or you want to get alternative fuel? Or a discount on buying an electric vehicle? They took everything away. They don't want you to have a discount. Yeah. They promised $20,000 EV. The closest to that would be a Chevy Bolt. But the battery is made in China. Most of the car comes from South Korea inside. All the electrical and the fancy screens, because that's what they did. And I say it's not a bad thing, but it's cheaper. There's another one that's made in the United States. It's a pickup truck, but it has manual cranks. I don't want that. But open the window. It's only 2 seat and a pickup truck in the back, and you can get conversion, get parts for it. You end up paying a lot more for it instead of being cheap. I guess they figure that people would get. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's they keep the price down. It's not how low they can go. They want to make profit on it too. I understand. A lot of those companies, they don't last long. Chevy, GM, the corporation, they used to make cars and everything. They had a lot of cars. Oldsmobile, they got rid of that. Pontiac, they got rid of that. They kept the Buick. They kept the Caddy, GMC, and the Chevy. So is that 4 out of that? And Chrysler's pretty much gone. Stellantis runs that now. You only have the Chrysler Pacifica. I think you have one Dodge. I don't know if you have anything from Dodge. So that company, that's gone poof. So Ford, it's a different world. They should make an EV cheap, giving you 500 to 1,000 range. They can do that. You have to have do you need fancy stuff? You just need the digital dashboard, maybe have the car drive itself home, talk to you, keep your company so you don't fall asleep, or drive it when you're falling asleep. That's good. How much can all that cost? Huh? How much is that? That's what you have to think about. Don't worry about who's controlling past leaders and all this stuff. That's not going to help you today. What helps you today is who's running it today and what's going on today. That's where it matters. How much you're paying for all these things. And that's what should matter. We worry about the worst things and we focus on the worst things. The society is different now. It's not like it was before. And we need to understand that. Because that's the way it is. That's what all it is. It's what we are now living in this time, this purpose, this world is where we are.